It's time to put these extra figs in the lazy garden, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. We've been getting pounded by rain the past couple days. I mean, all day long. Today's the first break and it's not done with. It's coming back today and tomorrow. Anyway, been out there to the lazy garden. I've been picking up these 10-gallon fabric pots here, and it's got a good bit of soil, more than what I'm going to use to grow in this year, because out the lazy garden I'm growing primarily squash and melons along with figs, and the figs don't need a lot of space for the first year. So anyway, this is what's in it, and this is essentially just rice hulls, almost exclusively rice hulls. And I did an experiment where I grew tomatoes, peppers, squash and stuff like that in straight out aged rice hulls, and they all did fine. So last year, I think it was last year, maybe the year before, but anyway, I got a video on it. I put nothing but aged rice hulls in there, and I had a season of pretty darn good growth, primarily with tomatoes out at the lazy garden. So now I'm taking this same material and I'm going to add to the 10 gallons worth of aged rice hulls here, which may have broken down just a little bit, and I'm going to add a 5-gallon bucket of peat, and I'm going to mix it and throw in maybe a little bit of fertilizer to it, and then we're going to repot the figs in these containers here that I've been using for a long time. And these are old sucralose buckets that I cut the top off probably 10 or more years ago, and so they've been holding up fantastic. So you can see here one of the tomatoes that I had on there has the name written on it, and I'm going to do the same thing with the figs. I'm going to write on here the variety that's in the pot. I may also put a tag on it, we'll see. A little cart here, lawnmower cart, will hold 12 plants, and I've got them half filled, ready to put the various figs into and fill in around it. Here's one, it's done. This is Bella Di Maria, and I wrote it on the side there and filled it in, and then I put some pine bark mulch on top. And it's just because the containers are small and they're going to get quite warm, I wanted the mulch to help with the evaporation, kind of keep it from evaporating too quickly. First 12 are done, completely ready to be put out there, and the only thing I have to do before I do that is I'm going to put a half gallon of water soluble. This is Master Blend, mix per directions. I'm going to put a half gallon in each one, which is pretty good. It'll completely saturate these. So I'll do that for all these, and then we'll get them out to the lazy garden. So these are some of the last of the figs that I've rooted myself, and some of them were really delayed. This YOLO bypass, for example, I just thought for sure that was going to die, and it sat in kind of a stasis for a really long time. Then it started leafing, so I'm very thankful that I've waited on that. I've got some over here too that were in stasis for a while, and like that one, but this is on Dana and Atriano Gold. They're just kind of sitting there forever. Here's a Borges Oak Grease, sitting there, just sitting there and sitting there, but occasionally they'll pop back out. So these are varieties that are late, and I'm gonna let them get more mature before I put them into the pots. And these are some, for example, this is Annette's Brown. This is my stepmother's tree that was in her property out on the ranch, and so it was really out of control, so we worked on not grafting that, but pruning that back, and I took some cuttings, and I'm going to have one or two for myself and give her a couple back that she can give away or replant somewhere else. So, and I've got an Exquisito, a yellow rose, a green goblin, and a Smith MJS, and these are ready to go back out to the garden, to the lazy garden, which is right out there. So I'm going to use my cart right there, and we're going to take those out. I got some mini shade cloths here. If you haven't seen me use these before, I've used them a ton of times just to help keep the really hot sun off in the afternoon, especially until they become more acclimated to the warmer weather. So it's really helpful today and yesterday that we've had cloudy skies and even rain, and so it'll help with acclimating, hardening off the figs. I'll tell you that in the 4 rows, initially I started with doing a fig every other pot, and since there's 160, that would be 80 figs total. What I found out was that that wasn't enough. I ended up filling up these first 2 rows completely. So these first 2 rows are 80 alone, and then we have another 40 here, so that's 120. And I'm not done yet. So what's probably going to end up happening, I'm probably going to fill all 3 of these rows, and eventually this one will be nothing but extra vegetables for vining crops or something, as the majority of the grows are going to be over in the raised bed garden over there. So part of my decision is, after I get them out here and they're on the watering routine and all that, they start looking fantastic, and the heat's coming on and they're just loving it out here. The majority of them are starting to take off, and I love the way they look. In comparison, if you look out here, I'm adding a bit more mulch to the initial mulch I put down, but some of these are looking okay. I did lose 3 or 4, and they're looking okay, but they're nothing like these here in the pots. And so part of the lesson I learned, I think, is that if I were to do it again, I'd probably start them in nothing but containers and then maybe migrate them to the ground out there. But it's kind of hard to second guess myself, because a lot of them out there are doing really well. And next year, if I were to wait to put them out there from a container out there, those ones that do survive out there, which I think there's going to be a high number of them, they're going to be well established and likely better able to survive any winters out there, because ultimately I want them out there in the ground. I don't want them in containers, because once they're well established, there's a lot more room for roots, and I think they just do much better out there. A lot more production too. So anyway, I love the look of the containers. I love the way the figs are reacting to it, and I'm probably going to make a lot of this grow space available for figs for the first couple years anyway. I've also going to convert this last row. There's 4 cattle panels on each row, and rows 1 through 4, this last row down here is already almost a complete greenhouse of its own. So winter storage has been a concern of mine. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify this end down here in a temporary way that would be really quick to resurrect a greenhouse, and put a couple little ceramic heaters like I do in my grow room, and hopefully be able to store. So all I would have to do, store figs for the winter. So all I'd have to do is just pull those down and put them all in here. And there's plenty of room for a lot of figs in between these 4 rows. So I have 3 areas here, and I could probably fit 4 in between the 2 rows here, and then just a lot. I could probably fit two, fill up two and still have more room for all these that are out here right now. So I'm thinking maybe I could do that. Maybe I can extend the season a little bit, get a little bit more fig tasting going on. Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to the season, and I'm glad you're watching, and I hope you like, subscribe, comment. I like talking to you folks, and I'll keep you updated as the season goes on. This is Brent.